So put on your noise-canceling headphones, buy a ticket to this week's production of Cats, and take a nice nap out of the rain. You'll be glad you did. I'm the West End Acolyte, with your local theatre reviews and recommendations. West End, hi. Okay, so guess what? Okay, so remember that list of British musicals you gave me that you didn't want to review? Broadway. Hi. Well, most of them weren't good, but then I found the perfect musical that the internet will love. I didn't even know Queen did a rock musical, you know? Everybody loves Queen, and this show is about rebels taking down a futuristic dystopia using the power of rock and bringing music back to the world. Reviewing We Will Rock You is going to be my ticket to become the most successful reviewer the internet has ever seen, and it's all thanks to you letting me root through your garbage, so to speak. That you are just great, and this is going to make us both famous! Broadway. What is it, fellow future celebrity? Have you ever actually seen We Will Rock You? Well, no. But how could it be bad? You cannot go wrong with Queen. I know you have your doubts, West End, but you will see. All I'm saying is get ready for some convention panels. See ya! Alright viewers, let's do this. I'm the Broadway Neophyte, and this is We Will Rock You. 300 years in the future, the Globalsoft Corporation rules the world. Life is lived online, music is soulless and digital, and conformist teenagers dance in unison in front of terrifyingly CGI'd crash test dummies. Named Pop tells of a time in the past when music was diverse and creative before being captured by this guy from The Matrix. Our misunderstood hero is generic emo kid Galileo Figaro, a prophet of sorts who hears rock lyrics of the past in his head. He also hates the world and isn't afraid to sing about it. You just don't understand, Mom. We also meet nonconformist number 2 Scaramouche, who sings Somebody to Love to show how much more deep and special she is than the shallow popular girls. Both characters are meant to be cool rebels, but come off more as pointlessly angsty and mean to everyone for no reason.
But my name is Galileo Figaro.
Cool name.
Thank you.
I wasn't being serious.
Matrix Guy takes mercy on the poor souls who have to interact with Scaramouche and Galileo, and arrests the two of them for refusing to conform before reporting to his boss, the Killer Queen. She's heard of a prophecy that musical instruments are hidden at the place of living rock, and wants to destroy these possible tools of rebellion. See, they think living rock means actual rocks, but rock is also the type of music you can make with instruments, and you see where this is going, but the corporation sophisticated enough to brainwash and oppress the entire world's population doesn't. Galileo and Scaramouche meet up after being arrested and decide to rebel against the government. That We Will Rock You is filled with awkward forced technology references that sound more like something from a cheesy 90s show poking fun at how the kids are just glued to their pagers these days.
Now listen, www.gordon at bebofacefacetwit.com.
In conversation, I email like a baroness.
I want a name, not a user ID.
The music and pop culture references in the show are frequently updated, but for some reason they couldn't do the same with these lines, which sound ridiculous to a 2013 audience.
We're a threat. A virus on their hard drive. And they won't give up until they pointed their little arrow at us and dragged us to trash.
I was wrong, West End. I was so wrong. Our heroes team up with the Bohemians, a secret society who are all named after musicians from the past, and try to make instruments out of scavenged garbage to bring back the time when music was made for love instead of money.
This thing for love, can't cry.
They realize that Galileo's visions can help them take down Globalsoft, and cement their plan by doing the High School Musical jump thing. Unfortunately, the Bohemians are captured and only Galileo and Scaramouche escape. End of Act 1. After intermission, we check in again with the mainstream Radio Gaga kids. Still mainstreaming, still dancing in front of horrifying CGI. At Evil headquarters, the captured Bohemians are being tortured to break their love of rock and roll. Am I above this joke? I'm not above this joke. Are they making them watch We Will Rock You? Our angst-filled lead characters are on the run, and now have their imminent deaths to angst about, bringing them together as a couple. But they just as quickly break up after a fight about something or other. Why am I still watching this? Hold up. Is that the fifth best Queen song?
Take me home tonight. Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you gonna let it all hang out, fat bottom girls. You make the rockin' world go round.
Come on, alright. Oh, I know, won't you take me home tonight?
This has nothing to do with the plot, does it? 70s rock you give me strength when I had none. I gotta give this musical a chance. The Killer Queen tries to celebrate her victory over the Bohemians by singing Don't Stop Me Now. But Matrix Guy stops her at it because the song is called Don't Stop Me Now, and to tell her that Galileo and Scaramouche escaped, and he gets brain drained for his failure. Galileo and Scaramouche make their way to a pub where Pop the Hippie is serving drinks to the brain-drained Bohemians. Pop explains that the prophecy of living rock was written by the legendary band Queen, which honestly comes off as kind of narcissistic, and the rest of the show doesn't help. The opening of Bohemian Rhapsody is the only thing the brain-drained Bohemians will respond to. A Freddie Mercury statue points the way to the place of living rock. Galileo and Scaramouche are revealed to be reincarnations of the band members for some reason. When Queen songs make up the entire soundtrack already, that should be a cue to tone down references to the band. Swap some of them out for the Beatles or the Rolling Stones, so saving rock and roll seems more like a team effort. Unfortunately, the more times they state how awesome Queen is, the less I believe it. Finally, at the place of living rock, after the romantic subplot has been resolved, it's time to end the Killer Queen's tyrannical reign of mass-produced conformity, which is done by broadcasting rock music across the world so everyone can dress and dance like the Bohemians instead. Meet the new boss same as the old boss, I guess? Anyway, there's one more song, and that would be Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, with our main characters being Galileo, Scaramouche, and the Bohemians, you might think the show is going to put some kind of context to one of Queen's most famous hits. They might have had the whole cast sing different parts at the end of Act 1 when the Bohemians were captured, or used it as the final showdown against the Killer Queen, moving from the despairing first verses into confident, rebellious hard rock. But instead, it's used as an encore song, free of context. Nothing really matters to me. Even though I have problems with this show, I was impressed with the vocal talent of the cast. It's displayed well in No One But You, sung by a bohemian named Meatloaf. Lament for musicians who died too early, and on a larger scale for the death of the free and creative era of rock music that the Bohemians can no longer enjoy. These Are the Days of Our Lives has a similar tone, and deserves a mention as well. We Will Rock You suffers from whiny and unlikable characters, fear of technology for no real reason, and repeated insistence that Queen is the greatest band ever that comes off as almost insecure. But more than that, I was disappointed that this show has nothing new or unexpected to say. Even for a fun, tongue-in-cheek musical like this one, I love to see the main character's perspective on the world being changed by the end of the show. They might choose love over money after insisting they never would, break ties with the cause they devoted their life to, or get sidetracked from their initial goal and find something they actually care about more. Nothing like this happens in We Will Rock You. The characters want to bring back rock and roll, so they do. Technology is bad, classic rock is good. These songs deserve better, and sometimes that better thing is to be left as standalone tracks for people to enjoy, not shoved into a cliched, unoriginal musical where they barely make sense. I'm the Broadway Neophyte, and I might never be famous, but I can do my part to stop unnecessary jukebox musicals.